You've got a gun, got a big gun, got a gun. It's not a real one, and all you ever think about is running away. All you ever think about is trying to stay away. Stay away from me.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for another episode of the LoudMouth MMA podcast, and this is the Not Safe for Work show. I'm your host, Kyle Steele, and joining me, per usual, the man, the myth, the legend, Freddie Kirby.
Hey, now.
Hello, Fred.
Well, as you always... I can't fucking wait to get to this episode. I'm going to tell you something right now.
I'm excited for this episode.
Same.
I've been looking forward to this since before the fight even happened.
Listen.
Because no matter how the fight went yesterday,
True.
I knew this was going to be just a wonderful episode.
That's true. No matter how it would have went, it would have been good stuff.
100%.
But this is another thing. I mean, listen, what can you say? Where do we start?
Let me real quick.
What are we going to do? Some house cleaning?
The biggest house cleaning tip I need for today is this is the Not Safe for Work MMA show. If you have not heard the phrase "not safe for work," it means just that. If you wouldn't listen to it at work, or if you can't play it at work,
out loud. You don't want to, yeah.
Right? This is something you can't play at work.
Sure.
So think of it from that perspective.
Not around
if you're
kiddies.
Around kids, if you're sensitive, if you're a little bitch, this isn't for you. This isn't for you. So just stay away from it. No big deal. No harm, no foul. A lot of things are going to be said today. So I don't want the mentions. I don't want people getting hurt. I don't want the unfollows. Just you know what you're getting yourself into if you listen to this show.
And listen, for sure, whatever you do not go to Kirby_MMA, Kirby with a K on Twitter. If you get your feelings hurt easily, definitely don't go there.
Oh my gosh! Let's just start there, my friend.
Let's start.
You know what? I'm not even going to explain what happened because if you're listening to this, you know exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to play a clip. Okay.
Here we go.
And I don't.
This is my favorite part of the show.
I love
when this happens.
I don't remember what episode this was.
It was recently. It was recently for sure.
It's a real recent one though.
Yeah. Could have been more than a week or two ago.
So this is the clip I'm going to play here, Fred.
Here we go. Let's see what happens. Oh well, that wasn't it.
Let's change that real quick.
Fucking music. What we got? All right, here we go.
Ain't doing but love, Dad. What do you guys think with that?
All right, got it.
You know, I tell you what. Listen, all you cocksuckers, listen. When Conor McGregor knocks Cowboy out, unfollow me on Twitter because the first thing I'm doing is tweeting a picture of my cock for all y'all to suck, and right behind it is a picture of that fucking old man. And y'all tell me, is the old man tougher than Cowboy? Remember these fucking words.
All right, real quick.
When Conor starts Cowboy in the first round, I want everybody on MMA Twitter to fucking tweet a picture of that old man and retweet the picture of my snake for all y'all to suck.
Oh, yeah. There we go. Listen, let me tell you something.
So, Fred, if you go to at Kirby_MMA.
Yep, that's the one.
If you go to at Kirby_MMA, will we find a picture of said snake?
Yeah, there's a big fucking albino anaconda on my fucking Twitter timeline right now, right for y'all to suck. Listen, MMA Twitter or Twitter in general, y'all always think somebody playing with y'all. I got all the little motherfuckers in my mentions. That's not funny, dude. Why would you do that? I don't give a fuck if you think it's funny. Nobody playing with y'all. Got tired of hearing y'all talk all that shit about that old man. He couldn't even knock that old man at that bar, man. He ain't got no power in his hands. Cute cocksuckers.
When I pulled up Twitter, the fight happened, and by the way, before the fight, we all took there was like 15 of us last night. We all took a shot of Proper 12.
Ooh, gross.
It's basically the only time I'll drink it. And again, it's nothing. I had it last night. Again, I will say, there's nothing wrong with Proper 12.
It's just very normal.
Other than it's an Irish whiskey. And I want to hammer that into the ground. Like, it's really not bad. It's just an Irish whiskey is terrible.
It's just not great.
It's not that it's just bad. Irish whiskey is it does not taste good. So if you like Irish whiskey, like if you're a
Jameson sort of character,
weirdo, like if you like Irish whiskey, Proper 12 is perfectly fine. I mean, it's probably better than most.
Yeah, fair
honestly.
enough.
So Irish whiskey sucks. But we all took a shot. So after the fight, obviously we're all buzzing, we're all exciting. And I had this fleeting thought, and I went, I wonder if Fred tweeted a picture of his dick.
Oh, yeah.
And then I, very unfortunately, pulled up your Twitter page, and there it was, just a snake waiting to be kissed.
I'm going to tell you something right now.
As you would say.
I had one on deck. I had one waiting. It was a good one.
Yep.
I was nice and fully erect. I was waiting on that one, so all y'all can suck it. And let me tell you something too, for the fucking sniper rifle prick.
And then to be fair, you posted a picture of the old man right after it.
Yeah.
So
I kept my fucking word.
You kept your word.
A picture of my snake for y'all to suck. I didn't get as many retweets.
Do not ever say that Fred is not a man of his word.
You goddamn right. There you go. And fucking MMA Twitter always thinks somebody playing with them. I'm talking all that bullshit. Nice and quiet today too, boy.
When Conor knocked out Cowboy, here's what I'm imagining in my head. When Conor knocked out Cowboy, I'm imagining that scene from Shawshank Redemption. When have you seen Shawshank Redemption?
Of course, yes.
Okay. I'm imagining that scene from Shawshank Redemption where Andy Dufresne, he's begun his escape.
Oh, yeah,
and he's slamming the rock every time the thunder happens. And he does it, and a bunch of shit just comes out.
Sure.
And he gets into it, and he just crawls through multiple football fields of shit, dragging a bag behind him.
Oh, yeah, baby.
And he gets out, and he pops out of the He's born, essentially, right? That's the symbolism. He comes out of the birth canal into his new life, right? He just spits out. He rips his shirt off. And he just fucking looks up in the camera. I don't know who filmed that. Was that Frank DuPont?
Nah, no.
I don't remember who it was, but anyway,
doesn't matter.
Beautiful shot, right? He opens his arms up and he drops to his knees. He looks at the sky and it's raining and thundering and lightning, and the camera just moves away. I was like, that's Fred Kirby right now.
Yeah, listen.
He is just you're feeling the redemption of all the shit you've talked. You got the redemption. Now, granted, Cowboy was a large underdog, so it would have been very shocking had he won.
Sure.
But the people who hate Conor McGregor, I don't think ever could have imagined a world where this would have happened.
Sure. Well,
where not only did he win, but he wins in such spectacular fashion.
That's the thing,
they
right?
Couldn't. I don't think they could really imagine it. I love how our buddy Laura, I think is her name.
Yeah.
The first thing she tweets was something like he's still a rapist or something. Like,
yeah, listen.
Okay.
Yeah, always gonna have those. Listen,
it doesn't matter what he does.
I get it. Look, all that aside, because you can debate that whether he did it or didn't. I mean, there's like if you want to be real about that, if you want to keep it a buck with that conversation, we honestly don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
like it is, and I'm like legit. I try to keep that shit separate.
Smoke and fire.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, possibly. But, like, at the end of the day, we have no sort of real facts on whether he did or didn't do it.
Yes.
So, for the moment, let's just put that to the side. Not trying to let him slide on the rape shit, but since we have no real facts on the case, let's put that shit to the side for a moment.
I mean, we don't even have, not only do we not have any real facts, we don't even have,
yeah, I mean,
we barely have any information.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So
if we're going to be serious about this and have a real conversation about it.
At least a little bit more information.
Yeah, like I don't want to make it seem like I talk about being a Conor nut hugger. All bullshit aside, if he actually raped a fucking woman, that's no fucking blames.
Oh, 100%.
But I just don't know enough about it. Like real talk. So if we're just going to evaluate what happened in the cage, I did think that Conor would knock Cowboy out for sure. Cowboy's 142 years old. He's had fucking 3,000 fights. He's fucking beat up and scarred like an old pit bull. Let's keep it a buck, all right? Like, I'm not fucking jumping out of my panties that Conor knocked out Cowboy. He wouldn't be the first man to do it. Now, what he is the first cocksucker to do is do it in the fashion in which he did it. Not only did he fucking starch him out in 40 seconds, and let's not forget, like, keeping it a fucking buck, I don't think it took RDA too much longer. RDA sort of did the same exact thing to Cowboy. He kind of came at him and threw him a beating for a couple minutes and just finished him quick like. But it wasn't 40 seconds. And if we're fucking sucking dick and giving credit where it's due, listen, what about them fucking shoulders? I've been watching fights for a long time. I've seen people do shit like that. I've seen people use their shoulder for sure. John Jones has fucking done shit like that where he jerked fucking Glover Teixeira's shoulder like out of place. Randy Couture is famous for doing that sort of thing. I don't think I've ever seen nobody do that sort of damage. after they fucking dropped back after that initial little clinch up that they had, Cowboy fucking goddamn it nose was broke.
Oh, yeah.
His eye was black. Like Conor did all
Just
that
for
shit with
sure.
his in like fucking 22 seconds, Jack.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you again, out of the cage antics aside, just what he did inside that cage, dog. I know Cowboy's a little old, but
leading
what
up to the
fuck?
fight, he's been perfectly fine, and after the fight, and yeah, I mean, I think this is nice. I've really enjoyed this, Conor.
What do they call this? What do they call it when you come back and you like a cleanup? Is that what they call it? Like when you go back and you like redo shit?
I think he got a bit humbled a little bit. I think losing to Habib, I think humbled him a bit.
Is this
it.
the greatest cleanup job of all time?
It is.
I mean, the
I'm
cute
a big fan.
cocksucker was like losing everybody.
I'm a big fan.
He
Again,
came back. He didn't shit talk Cerrone.
No, he handled it.
Fucking hugged his granny afterwards.
Yeah.
Respected him before, during, and after the fight.
He was emotional. He was happy.
I mean, what? Like real talk.
Over and over every interview he had.
Come on.
He was talking about he's in a better place and he's happier now and he's. He has a routine, and it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, people turn over new leaves all the time. You know?
I mean, at least for now. Not to say that he might fucking not start doing blow again tomorrow,
that's
but
not
like
to say
for
that
this moment.
And that's not to say he didn't do shit during that time that's not going to come back on him. But
Sure.
for right now, we don't have that
Right,
information, right?
Right,
So
right.
we can only work with what we have to work with. Okay. We're going to watch the full fight because it's only 45 seconds.
Okay, fair
So we
enough.
can get kind of a live reaction to it. So it's going to sound kind of crazy, but here, we'll play it. We'll should we play the audio?
I don't know if we should play the
I
audio.
don't think we should play the audio
No,
either.
no, me-
I think I agree with you.
Yeah. Just
I'll have it kind of faint in the background.
Yeah. There you go. We'll just kind of watch it here and give you the.
Okay, so the
play-by-play.
first thing that happens, we pause.
That big fucking punch.
First thing that
The
happens,
big fucking punch.
and
Jack.
I heard him in his post fight. He actually has a really good post fight interview. Conor does, and he was talking about that. He basically attributed it to long layoff. He just came in and just really overextended. He wasn't trying to pull a Jorge Masvidal, which is funny because it's almost
Looked
how
like
it
it.
looked.
Yeah.
But that's not what he was trying to do. But he did talk about how he trained, how Cowboy ducks lefts, and he listed a bunch of fighters where he's been
Right.
ducking the left.
Right.
So I think, but that's not what his intent was in that moment. He
Right.
just
Well,
loaded up on a shot.
to be fair, just to break it down in the most common of terms, too, we all know Cowboy starts slow. So I think it's just a great, that was known going to the fight. Cowboy starts slow, start fast for Conor. He couldn't have started faster.
Yeah.
Fucking ran over there and threw a bomb at him immediately.
Yep. So then
They clinch up right away.
And Cowboy, to his, he
he
also
dodged
goes
it.
for a takedown. He dodges it and then starts going for a double leg there. All right, so then they immediately clinch. So
Right.
we're just a couple seconds into the fight. They immediately clinch.
And then
One
boom,
shoulder,
them
two
shoulders.
shoulder, knee. I think there's 4 shoulders total and a knee.
I mean, what, like 10 seconds, 15 seconds?
Yep.
Time?
And then a punch or two, and then Cowboy lands a kick.
Cowboy threw a head kick, and then he
then
returned
Conor
the head kick.
lands the head kick.
Right.
Knee, punch, 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 punch.
And this is pretty
punch,
much the end
punch,
of it.
punch,
boom, boom,
punch,
boom. Yeah.
punch, punch, punch.
But to be fair, I've
punch,
seen people saying that
punch,
Herb let
punch,
the fight go on too long. I don't
punch,
think so.
Punch.
Cowboy's still
punch,
moving.
Punch.
Okay, he's not
punch,
moving no more.
Punch.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
I
maybe
said-
maybe
listen, I
one
said-
or two extra ones.
I
It is what
said
it is.
punch a lot more than I thought I was going to say punch. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
No, but the fight did not last too long. I think this is
40 fucking seconds.
Here's the thing: if you're going to be in a fight of this magnitude, you might have to get peeled off the canvas a little bit. Like, this is a way too big of a fight to have a ref controversy.
Sure.
Let the shit go on, give it a couple extra pops, and then pull them off.
And Cowboy's fine.
Let's
Stop
make
it.
sure the shit's done.
Right. No, for sure. And Cowboy's fine. He wasn't unconscious. Herb Dean knows what he's doing. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
I don't
I think
think this was a bad stoppage
that
at all.
was a
It's fine.
perfect stoppage to
Sure,
me.
it's fine.
If that's a prelim fight on Fight Pass, go
Yeah,
ahead and stop it.
Yeah, maybe
Go ahead and stop it a
debatable.
couple
Sure,
before.
Sure.
But dude,
Cowboy's fine,
you
bro.
have
Unless
to treat it
Cowboy's
differently.
Yeah.
in a fight of this magnitude.
And to be fair, he was moving pretty much the whole time until like the last 3 or 4 punches, and then fucking Herb Dean stopped the fight. What are you gonna do? He's trying to give him the ability to fucking, I'm sure Cowboy wanted that. Like, fuck, bro, I still ain't asleep, but the fight's over.
They were showing a bunch of clips of Conor, and the one thing that came flooding back to me was how accurate Conor is when he knocks people down.
Yep.
You know, when he gets people down, he just doesn't miss.
Yeah.
When you go down to your butt or to your knees or whatever, and he starts punching you, he lands nearly every shot. And it's crazy. It's a really interesting skill that he has.
His accuracy
and you
is
saw it
crazy.
right here with Cowboy.
Sure.
I don't think he missed more than one or two of those.
Yep. Every one of them landed.
Almost every one of them landed.
Damn
which
near.
is just crazy.
Yeah.
That's a phenomenal. Because it's not even just accuracy. Because accuracy, when we're at distance, right, is different than you're falling down and moving, and I'm trying to track your target.
Right.
But he hits him every time. It's
He
just
set
crazy.
it, and he set it all up with a head kick. How beautiful is that?
Yep.
Like, I wouldn't call it quite Cowboy signature move, but something like that. He's got the most head kick
Well,
knocks out in the UFC. So
which is a really cool thing, and I liked what Conor said in the post fight. He said, he considers that a title in and of itself.
yeah,
You
like
know,
setting it up with that over Cowboy, who's got
Well,
the most.
no, he's saying Cowboy, like for Cowboy to
Oh,
have
oh,
that.
oh, true,
like,
true.
He's like, I consider that to be a title,
Right.
just all by itself. And then he obviously acknowledged how poetic it was that he was able to get a head kick over him. And the other thing he said, and I didn't realize this was true, but I haven't heard anybody refute it, so
Yeah.
I assume it's true.
Finishes
but that he's
3
the
divisions.
first person to get finishes,
knockout finishes. I think he
knockouts,
said
yeah,
made specific in that.
3 divisions. I don't know if it's 3 specifically, if it's 145, 55, and 70.
I think it was 3 in general,
specifically.
yeah, which would make sense. I mean, not many people have hopped 3 divisions, period, when you think about it. 2, yes, but not really many in the 3 boat. Not
That
many
is-
at all, really.
That is pretty
so.
nuts, man. To
Yeah,
have
I mean,
that.
to be fair, Cowboy's a 55, or I mean, listen. But look, Cowboy has beat legit 70ers, though.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not like top of the tier guys, but he's beat legit. Like Mike Perry's a legit 70er. I mean, he might not be the greatest fighter in the world, but he's a big man. He ain't cutting
Yeah.
to 55. What the fuck? He's a big dude. Cowboy beat that dude straight up. You know what I'm saying?
So, how do you feel about Stephen A. Smith got a lot of controversy. So did Andrew Yang. Got a lot of controversy for saying basically something along the lines of, "I hate to say it, but Cerrone's washed." That's what he said. And then Stephen A. Smith said something like he was disgusted by Cowboy and saying that he quit. So those were your two things. With Andrew Yang, and that's where I want to go with real quick. I agree. I think we're starting to see, okay, this is the beginning of the end. He's lost 3 consecutive fights by knockout. I mean, I think we're kind of at the beginning of the end here, where he's going to become a glorified gatekeeper.
Andrew Yang, the dude that's running for president.
Yes.
Remind me again why I should give a fuck what he thinks about fights.
It's not even that. I was just saying he got a little backlash for
Oh
it.
well, I mean,
So I was
Yeah,
more more
listen.
commenting on the content. I don't think he's incorrect. I think
Yeah.
I think that's
what he say? He's washed.
He's washed. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's,
he's old. Yeah, I mean, what the fuck? I did. That's not a fair
I feel
comment
like
to
that,
make.
that's what I'm saying. I feel like that's not controversial.
Sure.
Now, what Stephen A. Smith said, and there's a lot of pushback on Stephen A. Smith, and I completely understand why. But I will also, and I may have a very dissenting opinion of how you view. I view Stephen A. Smith very differently than the rest of the sports community, apparently, but certainly different than the MMA community. I think him saying that Cerrone was disgraceful or whatever the fuck he said, I don't view that as a bad thing. I think he's incorrect, and I certainly do not agree with his assessment. And I am, generally speaking, not a big fan of people making that level of an assessment when they're not a fighter themselves.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I think if you're not a fighter, you can't call someone's performance disgraceful because they got knocked out. Like, yeah, that's you're going to a point that you shouldn't go to. But regardless, the fact that these people's names are in his mouth in the first place is still massive. It just is. It's huge.
Yeah.
Stephen A. Smith, when he was interviewing Cowboy, it was one of the worst interviews I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But who cares? It's Stephen A. fucking Smith.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, man. I don't give a fuck what Stephen A. Smith thinks about MMA. Stephen A. Smith is not a big fan of MMA. He works at fucking ESPN. He's a personality. Like you say, I don't give a fuck what. It's his fucking job
Yep.
to talk shit about sports and drum up controversy. Would you cocksuckers like it more if he came on and gave the same opinion that all you fucking douchebags got? Conor looked great, Bert, with the shoulders. I'm going to be so fucking sick and tired of hearing people talk about the intricacies of his shoulder work. Suck my dick. I'd rather hear Stephen A. Smith get on there and shoot his mouth. You know what? Guess what we're talking about? Him.
Yep.
You know what we're not talking about? The 100 podcasters that hit MMA Twitter last night with their fucking hard-hitting thoughts on Conor's fucking shoulder rubs. Who gives a fuck? Clearly, Stephen A. Smith's not a major MMA fan, right? Obviously, he grew up watching boxing. He's probably watching a little bit now because he has to for his job, so on and so forth. I, for one, love it.
Me too.
He gives us good sound bites. Do I think that Stephen A. Smith is going to drop some fucking MMA knowledge on me? No. That's what I watch a condescending Luke Thomas for.
So knowing Stephen A. Smith's pool on what would be considered to be very casual MMA fans or casual MMA fans, do you think him holding these opinions are detrimental? Because I think that's the pushback of Stephen A. Smith, is that he's reaching people that we can't reach and giving them incorrect information.
I mean,
And
that's
this
a
is
touchy one.
But this
like,
is what I'll tell you. I don't think a single person on this planet takes Stephen A. Smith seriously.
Well, right. And
So I
mean,
guess he is a personality that we listen to because there are moments where I'm listening to Stephen A. Smith and I'm like, fuck yeah, that's exactly how I feel about the Cowboys.
Listen,
or whatever it is.
well-
And then there are other times when I'm like, what a fucking idiot. And he exists in those planes.
Right.
You either really agree with him, you really disagree with him. But I've never been like, you know whose take I really want? It's Stephen A. Smith, and nobody else has that either. So it can't be that detrimental because nobody takes him serious.
Listen, it's not detrimental because it's his fucking opinion. I mean, at the end of the day, first off, no, he doesn't got that much clout in MMA. Like, Stephen A. Smith having an opinion on Cowboy ain't going to do fuck all in Cowboy's career. Like, no, it's not detrimental. But at the end of the day,
No, we're saying detrimental to the sport.
But no.
in that he's talking to an audience that a Luke Thomas won't reach.
Stephen A. Smith ain't going to do nothing that the word detrimental means to MMA.
Okay.
In no way, shape, or form. He just ain't important enough. He's there with the ESPN package. And, yeah, there's some casuals that he's hitting that Luke Thomas ain't. But, like, nonetheless, that ain't going to do shit. And at the end of the day, what are you going to do? It's his fucking opinion. No matter how goofy or stupid or wrong it may be, he thinks Cowboy quit.
Yeah.
Would Cowboy beat the fuck out of Stephen A. Smith at any point in his fucking life? Of course he would. It's not really the point. Stephen A. Smith gets paid to have dumb opinions. It's just like Skip Bayless. I'm going to tell you another thing, too. For all you crybabies out there that don't like seeing my snake or hearing Stephen A. Smith talk about MMA, get fucking used to it. Because every time I fucking win a big fight, I'm tweeting a fucking cockpick. And then Stephen A. Smith's going to get on the ESPN and babble about it, and y'all are going to hate it. And then guess what's going to happen next? Maybe not. I guess we ain't got to do with Skip Bayless, huh? Because he's on Fox, right?
Yep.
Okay, never mind. But I was going to say, all these fucking people are going to now be commenting on our sport. They're going to be giving their commentary, and most of them are not fans. Don't get fucking butthurt every time one of them, you know what I mean, like makes a stupid comment. I mean, or look, do whatever the fuck you want to do at your fucking time. I personally won't be wasting time on shit like that. When somebody like Stephen A. Smith makes a dumb comment about MMA, I'm going to not fucking pay it no mind at all. It don't mean, you know what I mean?
And I think that's the way to handle it.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Like I said, if anything, look at it as entertaining. Go into it knowing that Stephen A. Smith is not, like, that's so annoying, kind of. I can't stand MMA fans. I guess every sport probably has that sort of douchebaggery, though, where they sit around on their fucking pedestal. I know so much more about MMA than Stephen A. Smith. Who gives a fuck, man? Shut the fuck up. Like, you know, Stephen A. Smith, like it or not, the dude's a fucking legendary fucking sports analyst, man. Yep. And now we're on ESPN. He's, like you said, the fact that he's even talking to Cerrone, that might make a lot of y'all mad, but it's kind of a big deal for MMA.
I just think that MMA fans are so protective of their niche.
Yeah, sure.
Because it's a niche sport, and they want to be so protective of, you know, people who they feel like haven't put in the time. You know, like I get that a lot, just because I haven't been watching MMA for 20 years. You know, even really 10. I mean, we're decently close to 10 years, but not really 10 years.
Right. There's other snobby MMA fans like, oh, you didn't watch Pride when it was live?
Yeah.
Or you didn't see fucking Strike Force and the blah, blah, blah. Like, I fucking can't stand those cunts like that.
it's so I think especially those people, they're so protective of who's allowed. There's a hierarchy of who's allowed to talk about the sport.
Sure.
And someone like Stephen A. Smith is going to be so low on that totem pole, but he's also going to get the widest reach. So it's like the lowest person on the totem pole gets the widest reach, and yeah, that is upsetting some people, and I get it, but I just think if you're one of those people, I think you need to take a step back and just realize what's happening. Stephen A. Smith is talking about the UFC. Just relax and let it happen.
And also, I mean, to be fucking on some equal fair shit, maybe just fucking chill for a minute, right? Yeah. Maybe he'll get better, man. Maybe he is just getting acquainted with the sport. And look, I think a lot of it is just the fact that he knows he's kind of got to drum up controversy. A lot of times, Stephen A. Smith, make no mistake about it, he's also one of those sort of guys where his whole fucking, thing is kind of drumming up controversy.
Oh, 100%.
So, like, keep that in mind, too, man. He might know good and well what the fuck he's doing to all you idiots. He may be trolling y'all for real. He might know more about the sport than most of you.
It's true.
And he's just like, let me come in and let me talk all crazy and talk about how Cowboys a pussy, basically, and get all you dummies fired up, and then I'm going to be on all y'all's dumbass podcasts tomorrow. Maybe. I quite frankly, I wouldn't doubt that at all. He's a smart man. He knows what he's fucking doing.
I think that it's a very real possibility. That's exactly what's happening.
Just low key trolling, maybe a tiny bit of him not knowing, but more just him being like, okay, let me ride with this angle because it's an extreme view, and that's what sells, man. Opinions like that.
We have the obvious question, which is, what is next
for Conor?
Yes.
Okay. So I tell you what's sexy. Tell you what fucking gets me fired up right away is Jorge Masvidal. I mean, that's the sexy one right off the jump.
Agreed.
Behind that, for me personally, is the Gaethje fight. And I guess I don't know if you want to be fucking, back to an MMA hipster, for the integrity of the sport or whatnot, I think the Gaethje fight, if Conor's ultimate goal is to get that one back against Habib, Gaethje's the fight to make. He needs to fight Gaethje. Quite frankly, I think it's a real good matchup stylistically. I think Gaethje's going to be slower than Conor at 55. I think Conor's going to light Gaethje's face on fire. One of Gaethje's biggest fucking assets is that he takes a good punch. You think that's a good fucking idea to come into a fight with Conor McGregor? That's your big asset? Is that you're going to be able to take some of those punches to land your own? I fucking don't think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So I think that's, quite frankly, a great stylistic matchup. Quite frankly, I think Jorge Masvidal, if we're just talking about stylistic matchups and the actual fights themselves, might be a way harder matchup than Justin Gaethje. Matter of fact, fuck the might be's. My opinion, Jorge Masvidal is a lot tougher matchup than Justin Gaethje.
Yeah.
This 170 thing's been fun. You got your little shit. For all of me, what I would like to see Conor do as a big Conor fan, line that Gaethje fight up ASAP. You said you want to march. Gaethje's out there running his fucking dick sucker. Let's get to it. Let me put Gaethje to sleep in March, and then I got the rest of the year to train and wait for the fucking winner of Tony Habib.
So here's some reactions by people who are currently at. People who are currently at ESPN.
Okay.
40 seconds, Conor McGregor disposes of Cowboy Cerrone.
I'm not sure who that is, so to be real honest.
The most weight that Conor McGregor's ever taken
Michael
into
Eaves?
a fight.
Oh, I know Michael Eaves. Chael Sonnen and Michael Bisping.
And boy, did he.
I got to tell you this. Conor threw 3 shoulder strikes. They all landed. He threw a couple of hands. They all landed. He threw 1 head kick. It landed. This was impressive for me because Conor's been out 460 days. One thing that you lose is your timing, Michael. He did not lose it. I don't even think that was the best Conor McGregor.
Listen, we all knew that Conor was going to start the fight fast. What I didn't expect was for him to run across the octagon and swing everything with the first shot. Of course, Cerrone got out of the way, then the clink, and then there was the shoulder strikes. 1, 2, 3, blooded up the nose, a head kick, and then from there, that was the beginning of the end. Cerrone was hurt, he covered up, and McGregor, hey, listen, fair play, man. You can't hate on that. It was amazing.
Again, all the talk leading up to this fight was the strategies that both would employ here, and everyone thought that
Conor
hoping
McGregor
that they would
come
get.
up fast.
It seemed as if to
I'm
me,
gonna
and
fast
you guys
forward
are
to see if there's
experts,
any
the Cowboys Years that was back at UFC 205.
Oh, they do
It's
kick
been-
it to Stephen A. at the
I'm
end.
blown away.
Again, 40 seconds is the official time that Conor
me see what
McGregor
he
took
says.
to dismiss Cowboy Cerrone.
Oh, no.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube.
It's just him promoting the YouTube. Oh, I was really hoping there was a Stephen A. response. I guess there is. I mean, we can listen to it real quick. This is a Stephen A. clip from right after the fight.
Is that even? Can you say from Conor McGregor it's a stunning win?
Listen, I'm shocked and disappointed. I thought Conor McGregor would win this. I thought he would take him out in 2 rounds. I thought that obviously he's been knocked out. Cowboy Cerrone's been knocked out 6 times in his career, the last 2 times. So I knew he had a questionable jaw, and coming in there and swearing that he wanted to strike against Conor McGregor, I thought that he was right there to be had. So I expected it to end in round 2. I didn't expect it to end in 40 seconds, or as you just said, Joe Rogan, the first 15 seconds. Conor McGregor misses with a haymaker, catches him with the leg, but that wasn't a big deal. But the clinch, the shoulder clinch, and then hitting him 3 times, not 1, not 2, but 3 times, he was pretty much done then, just like Joe said. So 15, 20 seconds in, you're seeing Cowboy Cerrone, who was the bigger guy,
Right.
okay, the bigger guy coming into this fight, be done in like 15 to 20 seconds. I mean, I don't think he landed a single blow against Conor McGregor. It was like shadow fighting, for crying out loud.
He landed 1 kick to the arms, and that was basically it. The consensus was the best way that he was going to be able to win was to keep distance and perhaps use his wrestling.
Right.
Try to take him down, try to grab his fight to the ground, and wear Conor out, because Conor's so explosive and dynamic. And a lot of those guys, those fast twitch guys, you can wear them out, and then their muscles fill up, and then they slow down in the later rounds. That was the hope.
The other thing is this. Listen, you can't avoid being happy for Conor McGregor. He's great for the sport. When he wins, it elevates the profile for the sport, unlike anybody else in the UFC. We get all of that. But the flip side to it, coming into this fight, Cowboy Cerrone had a reputation for not stepping up in the big moment. Now, he's been around for a long time. Most wins, most closes, we get all of that because he finishes the job when he wins. But when he's lost, remember, he's never been a champion.
Right.
They talked about that. This was his first pay-per-view event ever.
He says the biggest fight in his career.
So here's what I'm thinking. The lights might have been too bright, Joe. The lights might have been too bright. We have seen that from fighters from time to time. Those bright lights shine down upon you, and you just ain't ready. No matter how much experience you have, you don't have that experience. You just ain't ready, and that's how it looked tonight. Cowboy Cerrone just didn't look ready.
He wasn't ready for.
Bro.
I mean, where's the lie?
Where is the lie? Where?
I just think
Where's the lie?
here's the thing with Stephen A. Smith, I think that really throws people off, is that he comes across so dismissive. So because he comes across dismissive, they just take a lot of offense to it. Nothing he said was incorrect.
Listen, I'm going to tell him.
He was just dismissive.
I'm going to be candid with you. I don't know whether I said I did or not, but I lied.
I like Stephen A. Smith.
I hadn't heard what Stephen A. Smith said until just now.
Well, he also said more. I mean, he goes on. And
listen.
The big thing is that he said he quit, and I think that's where people are having the problem.
Yeah, he probably could have stopped short of saying he quit. He didn't quit. He got fucking forced into submission with hands, getting beat the shit out of him.
Exactly.
I mean, that's
That's
stupid.
not quitting.
But everything we just heard him say is a harsh truth.
Yeah.
God damn, Cowboy does have a prop step. What the fuck he did? Let's all keep it a bean. And that looks like that's exactly what happened. It looked like the moment fucking swallowed Cowboy. Conor came out and destroyed Cowboy. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I'm a Conor dick rider. I don't think Conor's that much better than Cowboy. I think if they fought 100 times, Conor don't do that to him most of the time. I think if the nerves get settled, they fight. Conor probably wins, but it probably does go 2 or 3 rounds like most of us thought it was going to. Nobody fucking thought Conor was going to come out and smash Cowboy like that, except fucking Daddy Fred. Fucking
Listen,
hate to throw that fucking in there. But
I gave my staunch opinion. If you remember,
listen, we called it.
I put it all in.
First round fucking knockout, Jack, and it happened. I mean, could have backfired on us, but it fucking didn't. We'll see what fucking happens. But, I mean, yeah, look, at the end of the day, I can't disagree with a whole lot he said. Fucking true, the most of it.
Listen, we can keep going through it.
I mean,
For the way Conor
Why
McGregor
not?
started, that is for certain. Oftentimes in sports, it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. We haven't seen Conor McGregor in the octagon in more than 15 months, hadn't won in the cage in more than 3 years. What did it say about his comeback, not just to win, Joe, but to...
Wow, is that true? That's true.
what?
Conor McGregor has not won a UFC fight in 3 years.
To be fair, he's only had 2.
Well, I know, but still, but just think about that. Think about the Conor that we had been watching over the last few years. And imagine saying Conor hadn't won a fight in 3 years.
I just think that's
crazy.
That's a real glasses half empty. Because
I gotcha, but it's a crazy stat.
Well, yeah, but it's a lot crazier if he had lost 4 fights in that time. Saying he only won 1 when he only fought 2, he's fucking 50-50. He hasn't fought a lot. It's a very.
I guess it's also crazy. He's only fought twice in 3 years.
That's a fair point. The fact that he's only fought twice in 3 years, period, is a big deal. Fair enough.
At the top of his game so quickly after that layoff.
Well, his preparation, and I was aware of his preparation. His preparation for this was rigorous. He prepared for years. He wasn't just coming back and doing a 6-month camp. He had been training MMA as hard as he was in training camp the entire time. It's just he didn't have the opportunity to compete again. And when he focused himself for this camp and got ready, he didn't focus like a guy who has $200 million.
This is the
bank.
number 12
like
trending video on
YouTube.
YouTube.
Like a guy who's trying
Jesus Christ.
On
regain
YouTube.
his position, regain where he used to be, when he was hungry, when he was desperate. And that's
I think
why he
I
fought
was.
so intensely.
I'll pause.
This is
Oh,
tough
here's
for
Steven.
me,
Here we go.
Because here, I'm standing next to a legend, okay? And far be it for me to refute anything that Joe Rogan says, but here's my reality. We haven't learned a damn thing about Conor McGregor based off of this fight.
Really?
Because who were you? Listen, the man did not get hit other than one kick to the arm. That's it. I mean, he didn't. Listen, I have gotten hit that much in the last week, okay? And I don't fight. I mean, come on, y'all. The fact of the matter is we don't know. And we know that Conor McGregor is a champion. We know he's a great fighter. We know that he's box office. He's phenomenal for the sport. We're all happy he won. If you love this sport, you got to be happy that Conor McGregor won. But you didn't learn anything from tonight's fight because Cowboy Cerrone just didn't show up. I could have ran for 40 seconds.
I disagree. We learned. He rises to the occasion. We learned he could put Cowboy away. We learned that he can land a head
that's fair.
kick.
That's
we
fair.
learned that he could beat him down.
Okay.
We learned that this guy performs when the lights are on him. But we already knew that. But we learned that he was focused. And we saw it.
Way to contradict yourself there, Joe.
He was in tip-top shape for this. And he was treating this like this is
Again, so to go back, Stephen A. Smith he's just being dramatic.
Sure.
He's not.
He's doing his fucking job.
Yeah, he's doing
man.
his shtick, man. He's just being dramatic.
Yeah, there's nothing to see here.
I'm interested in going through the whole video.
Yeah,
I'm interested if there's anything.
Potential resurrection of his career. Nurmagomedov humiliated.
Same.
Floyd Mayweather humiliated him. So there's 2 humiliating losses in a row. This was his return, and it was a pretty significant return.
I can stand corrected on that because what he's saying is when you look at what Conor McGregor did, you can take something from seeing what he did based on what he's done in the past. He was knocking guys out in the past with his fist. This time it was a leg kick. It was the shoulder. So that's something new. All I'm alluding to is what Cowboy Cerrone was incapable of taking inside of 40 seconds. Like you said, Joe, if you're done in 15 seconds, it's hard for me. I understand what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with it. I get it. I learned something from you tonight. I got that in terms of what Conor McGregor, something different came to his arsenal. But, my Lord, you couldn't back up Cowboy Cerrone. You couldn't catch a deep breath. You couldn't circle the octagon just a little bit, get your bearings on you. You couldn't do anything. 40 seconds?
There was not a
40
challenge.
seconds.
There was not a challenge that maybe even Conor McGregor expected in his first fight in more than 15 months. Maybe you have to wait to his next fight for that challenge, whoever that may be at 170 or even 155. Dana White will have something to say about that fairly soon. Stephen A. Smith, Joe Rogan, guys, appreciate it.
Again, he's just being dramatic.
Wasn't
he's
the worst
not,
take I've ever heard.
No, he's just being dramatic, and he's not, and again, he's being very dismissive.
Sure.
And I think that's what throws people off.
Yeah.
If I can think about like an attribute of Stephen A. Smith, he's incredibly dismissive. When someone is doing something, if you color outside the lines, he's gonna make it appear as if you've either never colored inside the lines ever, or you always do, and it's ridiculous that you didn't this time, right?
Sure.
Everything's gonna be amped
Extreme.
up.
Yeah.
But that's why he's in the position he's in. So I
Sure.
guess that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
And I just completely agree. I know we spent a lot of time analyzing Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
But that's one of the biggest talking points on Twitter outside of Conor just winning. Is the Stephen A. Smith stuff.
Yeah.
And I think people just need to step back, and hopefully you listen to that and we're like, huh.
Yeah.
Because I bet you half the people complaining about Stephen A. Smith then haven't even heard him talk about MMA.
Right.
They haven't even heard it.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
just
I mean,
are just regurgitating what everybody else is
but
saying.
yeah, exactly. I mean, listen, are there going to be better takes on the fight out there than that?
Fucking course.
Sure, but
I don't give a fuck about Stephen A. Smith's take.
To be fair, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I've heard. I'm sure you could go on MMA Twitter right now and find a stupider fucking take on the fight than that. I mean, that's not the worst opinion on the fight. Again, like I said, to keep it a buck, a lot of what he said was true. Harsh truths. I get where it's like, shut the fuck up, man. It's rude for you to be talking about a fighter like that. But at the end of the day, it's his fucking job is to talk about the sport. Like, what the fuck, man? If he feels like you choking,
100%.
I mean, I get it where it's like, that's rude. But that's another thing, too. It's like, you got to respect the fighters.
Why?
I mean, you're here to talk about the sport. You don't want to. He didn't say he's a bitch. Like, he wasn't outright being fucking cunty. It's just like, I mean, look, he's got a bit of a point. 40 seconds is a motherfucker, man. Like, you probably could have done a little better than that. I mean, easy for me to say. Conor probably would have thumped me out there in about 3.5 seconds. But what the fuck? I think most of the people, 95% of the people coming into that fight thought that Cowboy would last longer than that. So for somebody to point that out, it's not really that absurd. It's not absurd. You know what I mean? It might be a cunty thing to say in hindsight, but like, what the fuck? I don't think none of us expected Conor to do that in 40 seconds. So let's not get crazy.
So what's your number one? Was it Jorge Masvidal? Is that your number one?
No, my number one's Gaethje.
Okay, your number one is Gaethje. Okay.
Yeah. Jorge's fucking fun as fuck.
I will say my number one, and I didn't have this opinion last night, but I have it now. And I'm not saying this was earned. Did he earn anything off of this win, would you say?
I mean, listen, let's go ahead and address the white elephant in the room. If you're talking about earn a shot against Nurmi, no. I mean, I don't think so. To be fair, though, a lot of people were okay. Let me draw back for a minute. No, I do not think he earned a title shot at all.
Do you think this fight? Do you think he's going to get a lot more credit for this win than he should?
Possibly. Yeah, possibly. But
I guess, like, how do you weight the win? Is what I'm asking.
But maybe not. I mean, is he going to get a lot of credit for beating Cowboy Cerrone? Maybe more credit than he deserves because of how late it is in Cowboy's career. Yes, but the way in which he did it kind of merits a little bit of that credit.
I think that's the important thing to take away. So we always talk about that thing, which is, when you're fighting somebody who is over the hill, you're supposed to beat them quick, easily, handedly, etc. Right?
And
you're supposed to look like Conor,
right?
Because there's supposed to be this massive difference between the one guy and the other,
right?
So that's what we saw. Had Conor gone in there and struggled with Cowboy,
sure.
Now it's like, okay, shit's cray. But he didn't. He did what Gaethje did. If not more so.
Well, he did. Like, it took Gaethje, almost the better part of one round at least, right?
No, I think it was about 40, 50 seconds.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure.
No.
Keep talking. I'll look it up.
Yeah, I don't think so, dog. I don't think nobody had done Cerrone like that. Not no fucking under a minute. I don't think nobody's finished Cerrone under a minute. I feel like that at least went like 2, 3, 4 minutes, I think. I could be fucking wrong, but I don't think so.
It might have been 40 seconds left.
Yeah, maybe something like that. That sounds about right. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I know he threw him a beating, but like, bro, under a minute finishing him without much. Nobody's really complaining either. If anything, they're saying it went on too long.
Right.
So, a solid finish that early. What we got there?
Oh yeah. Okay, so it was within the last. There was 40 seconds left on the clock.
Okay, so that's
okay.
right. But right, there you go though. So it fucking took Gaethje, an extra 4 fucking minutes to do what Conor did in 40 fucking seconds. Yep. And Gaethje hits hard. But I mean, there you go, man. That's got to stand for something. That listen, it ain't like he fought Gaethje fucking 2.5 years ago. That fight happened 6.5 days ago. Yeah. So like that's a pretty good barometer. You can't give Gaethje all the credit in the world for beating Cowboy fucking 4 months ago, but then be like, oh no, Conor got an old Cowboy. Hey, he got the same fucking Cowboy that fucking Tony Ferguson and Justin Gaethje got in the last year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Cowboy ain't fell off a cliff since then. That's been the same dude. And look, the fact is, Conor did it faster and more impressively than both of them. Now, that doesn't really mean fuck all in the grand scheme of things, but as a Conor fan, you can take a lot away from that. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
But as a non-Conor fan, what do you think the takeaway is?
Not much. I mean, if you ain't a big fan of Conor, I mean, you got to give a little credit where it's due, but you could just kind of chalk this one up to being Cowboy being old. That's why I think the Gaethje fight's important, because that's not a fight you can do that with. I mean, listen, you can do whatever the fuck you want. People are haters going to hate, but like the Gaethje fight, I think if he takes that fight and he gets an impressive win over Gaethje, then I think a lot of the respect has to come pouring back in. A lot of it already does because he's fucking Conor. But if he does some shit like that to Justin Gaethje, everybody's got to kind of give it. To be fair, if he actually did that to Jorge Masvidal, the same credit would be needed. I just feel like eventually the real fucking pot at the end of the rainbow with Conor is Khabib, right? That's what we're all really looking for. So I feel like the most beneficial route to getting there is just taking a fight at 55. Get back down to 55. Let fucking Jorge Masvidal fight Usman. Let them stay at 70. That shit was fun, and I guess it's always around as a sexy option like the DS3 fight. But look, Conor, if you're training, if you want to do this, if this is you say that this is your redemption tour, then Gaethje's next on the hit list. Like, if he's hurt or he don't want to do it, there's that. And Jorge Masvidal is a fun fight, but like at the end of the day, that for all of me, I think that's all it is. Jorge's just a fun fight. I don't think, I know he said he wanted the belt at 170, but there's just that fight's not sexy. What fight sells more? The rematch with Khabib or a fight with Usman?
Oh God!
So there you go, right? I mean, and what fight would Conor probably want more? I would imagine he wants the Khabib fight. That's what we all, you know what I mean? Like Khabib beat him, he fucking embarrassed him, he made him tap. Like he's got to go get that one back. So,
but all right, so I will say again, I'm not saying that this is earned, but if the question is, what do I want to see? The first fight I want to see is the Khabib rematch.
Really?
Because
don't want nothing to get in the way of it?
That's my thing. I'm worried something's going to get in the way. Like, let's just do it. Let's just do it now.
Why give the risk of Gaethje winning? I mean,
but here's the thing. Ferguson and Khabib have to fight. Is it in February?
April.
Oh, it's not until April.
Yeah, that's the problem. And that was what I was going to add in. So here's the thing, right? Let's throw that out there for a minute then. Everybody's bitching about Conor getting the Khabib
How
fight.
about Conor fight Gaethje on that card?
Well, listen, yeah.
You can't do that. Can't do that. Well, Khabib's got a main event.
So what? Well, I guess Conor can't.
Conor's not co-main.
Fair enough. But, okay, how about this, though? Say somebody gets hurt. Are we okay with Conor stepping in?
Oh, absolutely.
So there we go, right?
Either
way, because I mean,
who I hope gets hurt is Khabib, so that way we get fucking Tony Ferguson fight, which
Conor.
is really what I want.
That would be fun. I still, and listen, you motherfuckers might be getting another dick pic yet, because I'm gonna tell you something. I prophesized this a long time ago. I said that fucking Tony would beat Khabib, and that Conor would beat Tony, and that Khabib and Conor would fight again. But when they fought again, Conor would be champ. Now, I called that a long fucking time ago. Yep. Conor's on his way back. We'll see what happens. If Tony beats Khabib, y'all better fucking unfollow me on Twitter, because I'm telling you, Conor's going to get that fight and he's going to starch Tony. I like Tony, but I just feel like styles make fights. It's why I think that Tony's going to beat Khabib. Yeah. I think he's going to be way too active off of his back. I don't think Khabib has fought with somebody like Tony, grappling wise, tenacity wise. The
amount of damage that Tony can take.
Styles make fights, man. When I think about that fight, Tony seems like he's going to be a nightmare for Khabib. The way Khabib, even I've seen a lot of people talking about just the elbows and the way that Khabib likes to go for his takedowns. Like, I don't envision that fight going and Khabib not getting cut up, right? Like, he's going to, maybe if you can stay away from Tony and you can clip him from the outside and use your boxing, but if you get close to Tony and you try to fucking grapple him for 5 rounds, you're going to get clipped with an elbow. It seems to be.
Yeah.
So I feel like Tony's going to fucking beat Khabib. I really think he's going to beat him, which lines up the Conor-Tony fight. And then again, speaking stylistically, I just think that Tony's too hittable. I think Conor's going to have the right. He's not going to try to get close. Fuck them elbows. Fuck getting close to dude. Keep the distance. Pop, pop, pop. I mean, what the fuck? Tony got dropped by Anthony Pettis. He got fucking thunderstruck by Lando Venata. If those fucking poor pricks can actually touch Tony up, I think Conor touches him up and gets the job done. And I do think that, ironically enough, I don't see nobody else beating Khabib except for Tony, or get this, Conor. That's right, cocksuckers. I think Conor wins the rematch too. Go ahead and fulfill my fucking prophecy. I think Conor comes out with the rematch with Habib, biggest fight in UFC history. I think he fights Habib like he did in the third round. In the first round, he takes him extremely seriously. Keeps the fucking distance, avoids a couple takedowns, couple big shots to the chin, down goes Habib, and fucking sky's the limit after that. I don't know where the fuck we go from there. The prophecy is not fulfilled, Jack. That's as far as I've gone. After that, I don't know what we do.
If Conor beats Habib, you might as well just stop watching this.
You know what? To keep it honest with you, to keep it a buck with you, if that all happens, hypothetically, and Conor beats Habib, it would probably be like me hitting the lottery tomorrow. It would seem like the greatest thing in the world, but I'd probably be dead in about 3 months. Be just way too good. It was way too good.
Right.
Like if Conor that happens, he'll just be the king of the fucking world again. Like if you know what I mean? Can you imagine if Conor goes on a streak after say he knocks out Gaethje or fucking Jorge Masvidal, and then he fucking, or what the fuck, say that my prophecy comes true. He knocks out fucking Tony in his next fight, and then he knocks out Habib.
I still think Gaethje was the easier fight than Cowboy. I still do. Even after this performance. I still do.
After this performance, it's hard to think that he could do anything more impressive. But stylistically, I agree with you.
I'm not saying that he disposes.
Just more plotting and stuff.
I'm not saying that he disposes of Gaethje more impressively than Cowboy, but
stylistically a better matchup.
But yeah, I mean, it was a better matchup.
I agree.
For the whole time.
It seems like it. And that's why I think that
he's in a better situation.
I think Cowboy did crumble under the pressure, man. I think Cowboy stylistically does make for a better matchup with Conor, but I think that if Conor fought Gaethje, it'd be a lot closer of a fight. I think Conor would eventually win, but I think Gaethje would last, not to fucking shit on Cowboy, but longer than Cowboy. I think Gaethje would actually last that round or two for sure, even getting touched up by Conor. He's just such a tough kid.
Yeah. So what else? All right, let's go through the card real quick.
Yeah, do we care about anything else from this card? Let me take the time to do this and fucking shit on that co-main event. Good God Almighty, you'd have thought I fucking did a shot of smack up in that goddamn hotel room I was at. Those fucking broads came on, and I don't give a motherfuck what none of y'all say. That fight fucking sucked. You can fucking give that fight right back to the Indians, Jack.
No, that wasn't a fun one.
God damn, that fight was atrocious, man.
Wasn't a fun one. There were tons of performance bonuses last night. So performance of the night, 50 to McGregor. Performance of the night, 50 to Olenek. Performance of the night, 50 to Kelleher. Performance of the night, 50 to Fiera. Performance of the night, 50 to Dober.
All deserved, I'd suppose. All deserved. I mean, they had a lot of money to fucking spend on this card, old Conor, but they could have kept Conor's.
Fights that were canceled off this fight. You have the Chaz Skelly Grant Dawson fight, and then you have the Claudia Gadea Alexa Grasso fight.
That was crazy.
That we got to talk about. So we'll get to that in a second. Let's go through the card real quick. We won't spend too much time on that. Man, I actually wanted to spend a lot of time on that Alexa Grasso thing because there's a lot to be said, and I also wanted to spend time. I wanted to spend time on fucking the bullshit. After the Roxanne Modafferi gets that huge win.
Oh, yeah.
And then she grabs the mic from her. I was visibly mad yesterday when that happened.
Let me take just a quick second to shout out Roxanne and give her fucking props and her due.
Fuck yeah.
I shit on her often, and not because she's a bad person. People give me so much shit because I know she's a happy warrior. She's a great lady. I fucking get it. She's a nice, great person. I just have never been that impressed with her MMA fighting skills.
I've been impressed the last couple fights.
I am impressed. I'll give you this now. A lot of hype was around Macy Barber. She had a lot of hype coming to this. Fucking got smashed. Roxy came in and beat her fucking ass in every facet of the game. Now her fucking knee got fucked up in that second round. Whatever. Who gives a shit?
Why did her knee get fucked up?
Because she got fucking thunderstruck. Like, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, all credit where it's due, dog. I talk a lot of fucking shit, but when you come in and you fucking, I don't ever want to be that cunny cocksucker that's making up bullshit. You know what I mean? You got to fucking call it how you see it, and you got to give her some credit, dog. She's a lot better than I thought she was. Real talk.
The other big upset in the card was one that, to me, was not very surprising, but Drew Dober over Nasser Haberquest.
Yeah. Drew Dober's a fucking little beast, dog. Like, he's fucking good. A solid striker.
Sorry.
Yeah, listen, I could never say that.
I said Haberquest or something.
It's like Haberdash, right? Like haberdashery.
Haberdashery.
Like, really, like make personal mail items.
But I just, it was funny. I was talking to Sean last night on his show, the DFS Sweat. Sean is the DFS sniper we're on a first name basis, so
Fair enough.
we're BFFs.
He's the one who told me I had little balls.
But I was talking to him on his show, and he just said he thinks that the reason why Nasrat is so overrated is because he looks like Kelvin. If he didn't look like Kelvin, like, he wouldn't be as overrated as he is. And it's like, I don't know if you're wrong. Like, I think you might be right.
I mean, I don't know enough about the guy to argue it, to be fair.
Obviously, the Roxanne win was huge.
That was big.
Another kind of upset there with Brian Kelleher. I mean, and not only was it an upset, but he just went in there and dominated.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite fight of the night was Alexei Olenek versus Maurice Green.
Yeah, that was
that was a
one.
wild, man.
That was a wild fight.
And fucking kudos to Alexei Olenek, dude.
Boy, that fucker
this guy,
was breathing like a fucking hog donkey, too.
He's got to be one of the most underrated MMA fighters of all time. Dude, he's got to be.
Yeah.
The guy's
his
58 and 13,
Yeah.
has this weird, crazy string of Ezekiel chokes on his record.
And just nasty
You know what I mean?
submissions in general.
And last night it looked like he was going to pop his fucking head off a couple times. I mean, it was wild.
And
I don't know how. Kudos to Maurice Green, I guess, also.
Yeah.
Just
kudos
kudos go around.
Fight,
just
yeah.
for, I mean,
but,
for being in there. And he knocked him. He also knocked Olenek down in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
First
He
punch.
looked so tired, though. I'm surprised that he did anything.
My God.
He
And
was
he-
sucking
And he
fucking
fucking
wind, Jack.
still got his submission. Not
Right,
to get a submission,
right.
he broke his arm.
Right.
Or popped it out at least.
Yeah. Fucked it up.
Holly Holm fight sucked. There's no point in talking about that.
Yeah, that fight was
that
really
fight.
bad.
They cue Dennis Green again. They were who we thought they were.
Yeah, no shit.
Shit
Jesus
don't surprise
Christ.
me. The fuck out of here. It was a boring first fight.
Yeah, man. To be fair, like for real, that fight sucked.
So the only other thing to talk about is Alexa Grasso missing weight. And again, I want to reiterate on the other thing I was going to talk about more, but the grabbing of the mic by Mason Barber.
Yeah.
I was not a fan of that. That is like, I don't think she did it intentionally, but fuck that.
Yeah.
Don't take away shine.
Sure.
The one thing she goes, I'm not going to apologize for my performance because it puts some shine on her. Get the fuck off the mic.
Yeah, no
Back
shit.
the fuck away.
No shit.
Again, I don't think she was trying to be shitty, but she was.
Well,
Whether she was trying to or not is irrelevant.
still comes off as extremely condescending.
Yeah,
too.
get the fuck away from her, dude.
I'm not.
She beat the fuck out of you.
Yeah,
Get away from the microphone.
Yeah, no shit.
Go
You're-
fucking fix your knee.
You're not giving nobody nothing.
No.
because you got your ass whipped.
Yes.
like it ain't you. You didn't. you didn't get your ass whipped to let her shine, girl.
No,
What the fuck? You
that's
just got
not-
your ass whipped because she beat your ass.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
You're not as good as you thought you
It
were.
sucks because she thought she was coming from a good place
Well,
when she
right.
grabbed that microphone.
Right.
You know what I
right.
mean? And she probably still thinks she was coming from a
Well,
good place.
but that makes her a shit human.
Yeah,
man.
dude,
I mean,
seriously,
because it's
fuck
like, you
off.
know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not fucking smart enough to realize, like, listen, this isn't your moment, bro. You lost. Like, I even tweeted that too. Again, I've been a staunch protester of Roxy's, not out of the cage, but in the cage. But after that performance, I was like, yo, what the fuck is Macy doing
fuck outta
talking,
here, guy.
man? Shut the fuck up.
We don't need to hear from you.
Let Roxy rub it in people like me's nose. You know, I
Yeah.
doubted her. I thought she was going to take a beat, and she came out and fucking did her thing. She looked good. Let her fucking stick it to us. Not that she's gonna. She's too nice, but she should fucking take somebody like me and be like, yeah, you stupid mouthy twat. Look what I did.
Right.
I'm fucking better than you think I am. Talking all that shit about my striking. Look what I did. I came out fucking striking aggressively and won the fucking fight.
Right. Claudia Gadea, Alexa Grasso. Alexa Grasso misses weight by 6 pounds, 5.5, 6 pounds.
I heard it was 5.5. That's what I
So
heard.
5.5 pounds misses weight. Fight gets pulled because you can't be over 3 pounds, I think,
Sure.
with the commission. You know, a lot of people have defended Grasso here.
Defended? I mean, how?
Defended.
Like, I mean,
Oh, because
I don't think
it
she should
was-
be taken around the bar and stoned, but
It
like,
was-
you know, what the fuck? It's her fault.
The last thing that came out was she was on her period, and that's why she couldn't cut the rest of the weight or
Well, I
something.
mean, listen, I'm not here for that at all. I don't care. Does that affect every other fucking broad that has to make weight in the UFC? They all fucking bleed from their snatch, right?
Yeah, that's kind of the...
That's the thing about being a woman, right? I
Right.
mean, you get all the feminine wows, but you got to bleed from your fucking private part. The fucking one gimme you got to give to be a broad.
Right.
Sucks, but I mean, it is what it is. Like it is. So She don't do,
Listen,
like you can't use that excuse.
You get free drinks on Thursdays, but you got to bleed.
Yeah,
You know,
that's the way it
it's
goes. Right,
Just how it goes.
Well, some of you broads get a free fucking mansion, cars, a fucking life I can only dream about. But that fucking little twat's got to bleed once a month. The good Lord's got to drain your blood. You fucking mean twats.
Hashtag not safe for work.
There you go.
But
it's not just fucking her. You can't fucking do that.
yeah,
I mean, come on, man. I mean, what
there's
the fuck?
no.
They all have to deal with
You
that.
can't defend this stuff, man. Like,
I'm not
it
saying
is-
she should be.
It's horrible for the sport. It's. If I'm Claudia Gadea, by the way, I am suing the fuck out of her.
Well, I want my money.
My Lord, am I suing her? I'm suing her for lost exposure.
The UFC should at least have to pay Claudia her fucking show money or something, half her.
But I'm getting a lot more than that because I'm saying I was going to be in the paper. They're going to be in the pay-per-view.
Right.
So you lose
They
the
were gonna
pay-per-view
get it.
points first
Right,
of all
right.
of a massive pay-per-view.
Right.
Listen, I don't be shocked. Do not be shocked if this is the first time we see someone in the UFC sue another fighter for missing weight. The amount of money that she's going to miss out on by not being on the pay-per-view,
you can't just replace that. Like, fight next week
and
in
even
Columbus.
if she's not getting pay-per-view points, if she's not getting pay-per-view points,
The exposure.
it's the exposure, the lost exposure.
Being
like
on a
you
Conor
can
McGregor card.
you can argue that in court that I would have been in a card with this person. There was this many pay-per-view
Which
buys.
could have changed my life.
Exactly.
Right.
So if I'm her, I'm suing her. Seriously, and it's it's nothing personal.
But like that was a big fuck
Nothing
up for me.
personal, but you didn't know until the day of.
Right. You cost me majorly with this, dude.
Yeah,
5
you could,
days.
You couldn't.
Or 5 pounds, rather.
You couldn't have said something a week ago, so maybe they could fucking get somebody in here real quick.
Right.
Like,
you just waited to the last minute and fucked me.
yeah. So,
And, not in a
and
good
she
way.
agreed to take the fight. The INSAC canceled it. So
Right.
she'll probably sue INSAC and sue Grasso. I mean, I would. I don't. If she doesn't, then she's stupid.
I mean,
Like,
yeah.
you don't go fucking
if
do
it's
it,
an
man.
option, you could
Go
try.
get
I guess.
money.
Yeah, like why not?
Yeah,
You really fucked her. But again, to be fair, look, I'm not taking up for Grasso, but I mean, I don't know. What are you gonna do? She wouldn't be the first one that's missed weight on the day like
No,
that.
and she said she's going up in weight.
So there's that, right? Like I would hold her to that. Yeah, I don't know. It's unfortunate. I don't really know exactly what you would do. I would definitely make her go up. That's for sure.
Yeah, she has to.
Like, yeah, I would definitely make her move up. But other than that, like, I don't. You can't really fucking penalize her. Maybe a little fine, a little money, I guess. Suppose maybe.
Anything else you want to add before we skadoot?
No, I think that sums it up, man. All we had to do was wrap up 146 or fucking 246.
Close though, buddy.
Christ, 146. Yeah, no, that's it, big dog.
All right, cool, man. We are out of here. We will see you guys next week.
You betcha.